can't tell you how powerful healing your inner child is, and especially how powerful it is if you have eating issues that you want resolved. So hi, I'm Vanessa McLennan, and I help people to work on their emotional eating disorders by working on the inside and healing from within. So before we go any further, please click on the subscribe button, click on the bell to be notified of my next video. So what is our inner child? Well, it is this part of us that is still the child within us, still, our emotions and our beliefs left over from childhood. Life is a continuum. We start as a very young child, and till the day that we die, it's, all one long line. We don't just jump from childhood into adulthood and we're suddenly different people. When we start off as babies, and we start to, our formative years, we are programmed, we're like sponges. We soak up and we learn by observing, and we learn from the people around us and how they are with us. And this very much helps us to form beliefs about the world, situations, and about people. Then as we start to get a bit older, we do have the ability to start questioning and analysing. But again, it's sort of events that happen in these years are very much shaping us into adults. Then when we start to get later down the line, and often it's not till perhaps, later into adulthood, sometimes in our 30s, in our 40s, that we've seen, our relationships perhaps might not be as we want them to, or we start turning to food. We have habits that we don't like. The same patterns keep repeating themselves again and again. And it's because of what was developed in us at childhood, what we learnt in childhood, how we developed, what we saw, that very much then shapes us as to who we are today. So then it makes sense that if we perhaps, want to undo our programming, we then go back and connect to this inner child, the child that we once were, to reprogram ourselves as if it were. So how does healing our inner child help us with binge eating? Well, like I said, when we are perhaps in childhood and we've observed and we've learnt and we've felt and we've shaped beliefs, at some point in our lives we have learnt to turn to food instead of managing and developing our own emotions. So it could have been something that we suffered as a child, or just, along the way we have learnt it. And we've also learnt that perhaps turning to food is a lot better than actually feeling those emotions. So by going back and reprogramming, reparenting ourselves, we learn to give ourselves what we needed as a child instead of trying to get it from food. So where can you start to heal the younger you, especially if you're not going to see a therapist? Well, here are some 3 tips. Do a drawing of you as a child. So it can be really good to sit down with a piece of paper and, do a drawing of you as a child. Now, it's not, a work of art, because you can even just draw a stick person, or if you really don't want to draw or can't draw, then get a photograph of yourself in the middle of a piece of paper. But it's quite nice to draw because you're connecting, with the paper. And then it's really good to just clear your mind and let whatever comes up about you with this child that you see on the paper. So you perhaps really want to do your age, and then, what might come up, memories, what did you like doing as a child, what schools did you go to, who were your friends, so whatever is coming to you, where you lived, all those sorts of things, right? And then just sit and connect with this child as you've got all these memories around you, clothes that you wore, activities, and asking, what is it I really needed? What is it, you needed if you're talking to the paper? What is it you needed at that time? And just sit and just feel, just try and get a feel for this child and what they were lacking and what they really needed. And be patient with this. And so it could be that they needed physical things, emotional things, and then you're actually, by connecting, you're also sort of in some way telling the child, I feel you, I understand you, I hear you. So give that a go and let me know what you think. So just visualise you with your child. So take yourself off somewhere quiet. If it helps to have music on in the background, calming, relaxing music, do so. And you want to just sit and you want to take some real deep breaths, and then you want to visualise you as a child either sitting opposite you or, wherever your child chooses to sit. And again, you're going to notice what age you are, what it is that you're wearing, what it is that you look like. And you're going to then form a connection with that child. So you might want to address that child. Hello younger Vanessa, how are you? I'm older you. And just tell the child what you're there for. I'm just here to sit and listen and be with you. I'm just here to just sit and to hear what you've got to say. And you just let the child talk, and you just start up a conversation. And you just start off by asking perhaps how they are, how they're feeling. What would they like from you? You know, what can you do for them? So the trick is, I think, to be really, really patient with this and just manage your expectations that the first time you sit down to do this, you know, your inner child might not even show up. You know, your inner child might just sit there and be quiet, as mine did. But the key to it then is just about persisting, but also offering reassurance and consistency that you keep showing up without, you know, badgering the child, or without pushing the child or cajoling the child. You have just got to sit and let the child come to you. So of course it's all in your imagination, and of course you're not forcing anything. You just let whatever comes to you come to you, and you just, you know, go between this dialogue of letting your inner child speak when they're ready, and you speak, and you are offering real words of encouragement, love and support. But mostly you're hearing that child, hearing what it is that they needed, and then in some way as an adult you reassuring and giving that child what it is that they needed. Do the activities that you loved doing as a child. So this is taking you back to your childhood and thinking about, what did you love to do that was good fun as a child? You know, even if you played on your own and you had no friends, what did you love doing? Every child loves just getting lost within themselves, and even if it's, you know, running, and even if it's you know, like looking at insects as children do, or collecting stones, drawing, you know, crafts. As a child I loved doing gymnastics and I loved doing dancing, and so hence now as adulthood I love doing yoga and Pilates, and I still love doing ballet, and I've even gone back to gymnastics, and hey, you know, I did pole dancing for a while. So that was connecting unconsciously with my inner child, because when I did those activities I felt free and I felt alive, and you know, I felt like wee, like you do when you're a child. So it was connecting me to that essence of feeling and being my child. So it doesn't mean that I was having conversations, I was just being that child. So what did you love doing, collecting, being, anything as a child? Even if it was playing with teddies, playing with dollies, you know, have some in your house, bring those into your life and find a way. You know, you've got to sort of cut out the adult crap of, oh, I haven't got time, oh, I can't be seen to be doing that, what will people think of me? So what? It doesn't matter. What is important is you finding the inner joy and spark that you loved as a child to help you get connected to the inner you.